What if happiness wasn't just a nice feeling, but an actual health strategy, like right up there with sleep, movement, and nutrition?
And what if feeling happier wasn't about pretending everything's fine, forcing gratitude, or slapping a positive quote on a hard season, but about supporting your body and nervous system in really simple ways?
Because let's be honest, midlife doesn't exactly roll out the red carpet and say, relax, enjoy, be happy.
Right. Hormones are shifting, sleep can be weird, moods can be unpredictable, and life is sometimes louder and heavier than it used to be.
But here's the thing, happiness isn't off the table. And it's not reserved for women whose lives look easy or calm or perfectly curated.
Exactly. And in honor of National Happiness Day on March 20th, we wanted to talk about why happiness actually matters for your health and how to create more of it, even when life feels full.
Welcome back to Midlife and Glowing. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nicole, and today we're talking about happiness. Not in a fluffy, everything is amazing way, but in a grounded, science backed, real life midlife way. So let's start here. Happiness isn't just a mood, it creates real, measurable changes in your body.
And not subtle ones either.
Exactly. When you experience happiness, even brief moments, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. These support things like lower inflammation, better immune function, improved cardiovascular health, and even better hormone balance.
Which is huge in midlife because inflammation and stress are already working overtime.
Right. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated, which impacts blood sugar, sleep, mood, weight, and energy. But positive emotional states like contentment, joy, connection, these help bring the nervous system back into balance.
So happiness isn't indulgent, it's protective.
Happier people tend to have lower rates of heart disease, better metabolic health, stronger immune systems, and even improved longevity.
So if you've ever felt guilty prioritizing things that make you feel good, this is your push to follow the joy without guilt. I think it's also important to say if happiness feels harder now than it used to, there's a reason.
Yes, hormonal shifts in perimenopause affect neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which directly influence mood.
Plus, we're often carrying more responsibility. Kids, aging parents, careers, relationships, mental load. It's a lot.
Many women have spent decades putting themselves last. So when we finally pause and ask, what do I need to feel good? It can feel unfamiliar.
Or selfish or unrealistic.
Right. But here's the reframe. Happiness doesn't require a full life overhaul. It's built through small, repeatable moments that signal safety and pleasure to your nervous system.
Here are some small shifts that actually boost happiness. Move your body gently and consistently.
Movement is one of the fastest ways to shift mood. Walking, stretching, yoga, nothing intense required unless you want to.
And walking, especially, I always notice my mood changes when I just get outside.
Same. I love my daily walks. That's because movement increases dopamine and serotonin, and being outside adds sunlight, which further supports mood and circadian rhythm.
Even a 10-minute walk counts. It doesn't have to be miles and miles.
Right. Next, support your nervous system. Happiness doesn't land in a body that feels constantly overwhelmed.
And this is where things like breath work, meditation, or yoga nidra come into play.
Yes, these practices help move your body out of fight or flight and into a state where calm and contentment are actually possible.
And I love this next one. Create one daily pleasure anchor, something small that you genuinely enjoy, not something productive.
Exactly. Maybe that's your morning coffee, a skincare ritual, sitting in the sun, listening to a favorite song.
These moments train your brain to notice safety and goodness without needing everything to be perfect.
I love that. We're all about small, simple wins here. You could practice micro gratitude without forcing it, of course. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring hard things, it means noticing what's steady or supportive in the middle of them.
Like, I slept better last night, or that conversation felt grounding.
Small, specific, believable moments. That's what shifts the brain.
And finally, connection, even briefly. Happiness skyrockets with connection.
Yes, a voice note, a text, a walk with a friend. Oxytocin, the connection hormone, lowers stress and boosts mood fast. And I can just say really quick, I know I've talked here before about my I have a ring ring. It's similar to the Aura ring, but it tracks things like heart rate variability and it gives you kind of a picture of your overall stress. And I have noticed I don't get out of the house often, but on occasion I'll meet up with a friend or two. And I notice when I do that, my stats are way better. So it definitely makes a difference and it's measurable. It's something that you can actually see.
That's amazing. I love that. And connection doesn't have to be draining, it can be simple and nourishing.
Absolutely. Now, this is important. Happiness isn't something you either are or aren't.
It's not reserved for optimistic people either.
It's something you practice through habits, choices, and nervous system support.
And some days the practice is tiny, like choosing a rest instead of pushing.
Or choosing kindness towards yourself instead of criticism.
Okay, let's close with today's glow reflection.
What is one small thing I can do today that helps my body feel safe, supported, and at ease?
Not happier forever, just safer and steadier right now.
If this episode resonated, we'd love for you to share it with a friend who could use a reminder that happiness is still available, even in the middle of midlife.
And if you're craving simple daily practices to support your mood, nervous system, and energy, be sure to download our Daily Glow Rituals Guide or sign up for our free glow letters. They're like gentle check ins for this season.
Thank you so much for listening to Midlife and Glowing.
And if you haven't yet, leaving a review helps this podcast reach more women who need these conversations.
See you next time. Keep glowing.